Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. Uh, so this is going to be the second part of the EVH, the Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat, Frankie Relic, whatever you want to call it. Uh, so I received this the other day, and I've done some of the, I don't know if they're really upgrades, but some of the things to make it more like the one that came out in 2007, the one that sold for $25,000 that not a lot of people could afford. I certainly couldn't. Uh, so I've done some of the things, and all the pictures that I got to use to do this was when Eddie had his real one on display in New York City. And there's videos on YouTube showing the real one. And so I tried to make it as close to that, and I think I did pretty good. So I'm going to show you some of the things I did. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, guys, and I really wish that Eddie didn't either, because if he didn't, he'd still be here with us today. But I did put a cigarette, and let me take this and show you. So, I did do the 1971 quarter. Okay, if you can see that. All right. Now, when I did the quarter, guys, I cheated a little bit. And I'll tell you how I did it. Now, I did make the holes in the quarter like he had. Now, back in 1974, the bridges weren't like they are today. This bridge is not a true floating one like on my Ibanez Steve Vai Gem. This has a stop, so it knows when to stop, and you can't come back with it and hit the body. Okay, so pretty much what he did back then was he took this quarter and he used that to loosen these screws and swing it underneath the bridge. So when the bridge came down, it was actually like a bridge stop. Okay. So what I did, I bought the screws, and then I said, I don't want to screw into a brand new guitar. So what I did was I cheated a little. I put some black electrical tape underneath to cover the holes, so it looked like when you look through the holes, it's black underneath. And I just cut these screw heads off, super glued them onto the quarter, and then I used 3M tape to stick it down, because it's not going to be used. It's just there for decoration. Obviously, you couldn't stick it under the bridge anyways. Now, he was either using, from what I was told, white gaffing tape or duct tape back in the day. Now, if you stick either of those to this and then you go to take it off, the paint's going to come along with it. So what I did was I took some gentle masking tape that was the same color, and then I used some of this clear plastic and put it under the majority of the tape, so there's just a couple little spots of the tape actually sticking. So it's not sticking along the whole thing. That's another little tip trick. The other thing was I got the cigarette and cut it, and then I super glued the end so the tobacco wouldn't fall out, and then I just put some red Sharpie on there to make it look like it was burning as a tribute to Eddie. Okay, let's move to the back. This now, if you look at the real one in New York in that video, it has the same checkered pattern, okay, and it has the same pattern that these have. The $25,000 one did not get it right, which is amazing, okay. And the other thing was Eddie's had a white backing that got dirty. They actually used a gray backing, okay, which was wrong. The other thing I have to do that they didn't do on this, which I'm a little pissed off about because I've seen other guys doing these reviews, is this is painted on theirs, and it wasn't painted on this one. So I don't know how this slipped out of the factory and they didn't paint that. But I'm going to have to touch that up. So we got the reflector kit. The other thing is I'm going to add the third spring like he had. Okay. And I also took off the detuner because he didn't have the detuner back in the day. And they give you the actual regular screw, a couple of them if you want to take that off and use it as it normally was. Okay. And like I said in the other video, this pickup is not a dummy pickup. I called Fender USA, and they said that is a real pickup with real wires and a real pickup selector. So if you ever did want to hook it up, you could. Okay. I'm not gonna. I don't think anybody will, but it's a nice thing to have because the real one did have a real single coil pickup and a real pickup selector. Eddie just didn't know how to hook it back up. Okay, so he left it like that. All right. There's a cigarette. Okay. Now the last thing, okay, that I'll show you here, really the last thing that you have to do, the only thing that is missing is these. Okay, now I took one of the old screws out of there and I measured this diameter and the one that came out with the dial caliper, and these are much bigger. So if you do this mod, there's no turning back. So that's one thing I've stayed away from till this point. I'm going to actually see if I can find some or get some custom ones or something, or do something, maybe look at Home Depot and find one that has a skinnier diameter of thread pattern. So if you ever did want to use it, you wanted to go back to the original way it was, you could. Okay, so be careful with that if you're out there doing some of these mods. Okay. And some guys have asked me how come I haven't done a video playing this yet. Okay, so you can see this better. And the reason being is I've been playing Ibanez guitars for like 20 some years, and this plays very nice. But it's a little different than the Ibanez's. Okay, so it's a little bit of a learning curve. I want to get used to this neck before I do a video, so I'm not feeling uncomfortable with it. Okay. All right, so there it is. And those are the mods that I have done so far. And it does play nice. Okay, but I just need to get a little bit more comfortable with it before I make a video of me actually playing it, guys. But there you go. Those are the mods. Now, the reflector kit, I see a lot of people asking about that. eBay. Okay, just type in on eBay Eddie Van Halen reflector kit, Eddie Van Halen tribute kit, and you'll find it. Eye bolts, like I said, Home Depot hardware stores. The quarter, you can buy them online. I had one. I found one in the house here. You can buy them for a couple of dollars. You can go to your local bank and ask them if they have a 1971 quarter. Don't tell them what you're going to do with it. And obviously a cigarette you can get anywhere. But yeah, I think so far I like the way the neck feels, and it does play nice. I have messed with that pickup on the clean sound, and it actually does sound nice clean. But yeah, anybody who gets one of these, it's not going to have a lot of tonal qualities to it. Okay, it's got one sound, and that's about it from that pickup. But those are the mods that I have done. Like I said, once again with the quarter, I just put black electrical tape to match the black here, and then I put 3M tape and I glued those on. So if somebody ever wanted to remove them, you could just take, to get the 3M tape off. Sometimes you can just take a fine fishing line and go underneath it, and that'll take it right off. Heat it up a little bit with a hair dryer. But I'm not going to take it off, and I'm obviously not going to pull these ever off either. So Eddie didn't, why should we, right? So there you go, guys. I hope you like these mods and how I did it. And I thank you